All right, we are here. It's the 20 podcast. We got the legend in the building, DJ Semtex.
Yo, we got the other legend in the building, DJ Spider. What's happening, man?
Yo, I'm so glad we got to make this happen.
Definitely.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
Nah, thank you, man. I had to make it the BTS, not the group podcast.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So you're in town. We were just talking about for Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
To DJ for Billy Rax.
Yeah.
Okay, so... And Rolling Loud, I mean, has blown up. Like, it's crazy. I mean, such a massive hip-hop festival.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like you're such an advocate of hip-hop culture. You know, like, I commend you for it. I've been following you for, like, a really long time. I see how much work you put in for, like, to preserve the old school stuff and to give credit to that and to also bring up all the new stuff. I feel like a lot of people that are into the old school stuff sort of, I don't know, like want to be cool by shunning the new stuff maybe or go, I don't know, it doesn't sound cool to me, but like you're so open to all of it and I feel like you're able to find that through line and like I respect you for that and I like to try to do that too. Like I feel like it keeps you younger as a DJ. Like we don't have to be like old man, like I don't understand what they're saying or it's distorted, you know? So I mean, how did you first get into just DJing and being so into hip hop, coming from England and your background and stuff?
Look, first and foremost, I'm a fan, right?
I can tell.
A fan, yeah. And that's it. It's like, I appreciate the music, I appreciate the culture, the art form, everything about it.
Yeah.
Everything from when I witnessed the first ever cover of a 12-inch record, be it, Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick The Show or the LL Cool J, Bigger and Deffer album or, the Slick Rick, Treated Like a Prostitute. By the way, I don't know if you could get away with that title today.
Definitely not.
but the cover was amazing, incredible. Yeah. And it's appreciation, man. And this culture, this art form, this genre of music's changed my life. Like I've met incredible people through it. I've worked with incredible people.
Right.
I've had some amazing moments, rocking crowds worldwide.
Yeah.
So, I have to play a role in supporting, sustaining, and helping move things forward. I have to, it's my duty to do that.
Right.
So it's this thing called hip hop. Like it raised me.
Yeah. And speaking of, you got a podcast and a book called Hip Hop Raised Me, right? Yeah. I love that. And like, I've checked out some of the episodes. I have not checked out the book, but I definitely want to. Is there like an audio book version of it too?
You know what, right? You'd think, right?
It'd be dope for you to read it.
Yeah, but the book company that I did the book with is called Thames and Hudson, and their whole thing is about images. Like they're a book company that specializes in images.
Oh, okay.
So they were kind of like, kind of got no interest in an audio book. Their focus is on like putting out books with images in. Okay. And I'm cool. I respect that and everything else. And it kind of makes sense. It was an incredible opportunity to do the book. And again,
huge.
Originally, I wanted to do like a self-help book, which would feature artists who've been through some shit and have turned their lives around. Because I figured,
that's dope.
Like kids are more likely to pay attention to that than some of the books that are already out. And I've already got the stories for doing hundreds of interviews over the years and everything.
Right.
So a friend of mine at the time was like introduced me to the book company and they were like, we want you to do the book on hip hop. And I was like, I can't do that because to do the book on hip hop, I was like, you need 30 people from around the world. You need a council, right? Yeah. And then I'm a fan of Macklemore. He had that track, Can't Hold Us. At the time, I was killing that at festivals. I loved that joint. It's like a 5-minute festival track.
Right.
And I know not many people would be open saying, yeah, I like that track or I like Macklemore, Man Loose, but I do, and I did.
Oh, it's high energy. It's dope. It's the crowd. No.
Absolutely. That moment.
Love it. I play that in Vegas. It hypes people up. Like
from start to finish, the breakdown with the singing, the hands in the air, the clapping, everything else.
Yeah.
It's an incredible moment, right, to play. But there's a line in that track where he says, what do you expect when Wu-Tang raised me? And I was like, I was raised by Public Enemy. I was raised by a bit of Ice Cube, a bit of Jungle Brothers, a bit of Tribe Called Quest. And I was like, hip hop raised me. I was like, I can do this book.
That's
it's
incredible.
A book on hip hop by me and my experiences. So
That's so true. I feel like that speaks to me too. Same thing.
And I think everybody could do that book, by the way, because everyone's got their own story, their own relationships.
Right.
And everybody, like whether you're an artist, DJ, sports person or whatever, everybody's got a story or stories like of hip hop that they could tell.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah. And props to Macklemore, that new track, Heroes, the Primo beat.
Yeah.
So dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true. Like, you know, music, I think itself is like the closest thing we have to being like a time machine or something where it can really bring you back to those memories. And I feel like hip hop, same thing, like Mobb Deep, first album, you know, or the technically probably second album, but the, you know, the infamous, like, I can remember listening to every song everywhere, every little piece of it, you know, in all those groups. And speaking of like hip hop raising us, De La Soul, you know, I think today is the day that we're filming this. You know, when the podcast comes out, it'll be a couple weeks later, but where all of their music is finally available, the samples are cleared, and it's all on streaming.
Yeah.
And talk about hip hop raising me. I mean, each of their albums were milestone parts of my life in a way. You know, I can remember different parts of my life when I'm Balloon Mind State, De La Soul is Dead, you know, the AOI one, like they're all different times in my life, you know, and like you said, it just speaks to me with the hip hop raised me. And
what do you think about, you know, the title of a track that Chance the Rapper put out one time, and he said like, music is all we've got. What's your take on that?
Music is all we got. I mean, music is all we have, you know, I don't know. I never thought about it, but I think just my gut reaction is probably music is the thing that all humans have. It is the thing that really connects every single human being, whether they can speak or not, whether they can, no matter what you can understand, you have music, you know, and that's the thing that ties us all together. And I think, you know, that's why DJing is so important, and that's why DJing is so powerful, is that we're able to speak to like every single type of person and culture using music and connecting us. And how many people have you been with and shared this joyful, like almost like look in their eyes and smile while you're both listening to the song you enjoy, even though you have no idea about anything else in your life, you know? So I guess that's my feeling of it, you know, right away.
What is music all we've got?
All we got? I don't know. I mean, that's a tough question. You put me on the spot. What do you, I mean, you know, I like family and different things I got.
But you know what? It ties into what you were saying and when you started this recording, right?
Yeah.
So one time I did the interview with Chance, and you know, he said that, and I was like, I'm not sure about that.
Right.
Let me ask him. And I had an hour interview with him.
Yeah.
And it was dope. In that hour interview, I probably asked him 6 questions.
Wow.
And yeah, it was a dope interview. It was
Crazy.
like that. And it was around the time when Trump was about to get elected, or he just got elected. There was a lot of fear and so forth. And then I think it's the only thing we've got. Because when you look at the world around us, right?
Yeah.
We got no say in politics. I can tell people to vote for who,
Right.
right? What, 1 or 2 choices,
Yeah.
right? We only really make some kind of change or advancement or, you know, change in consciousness when we talk the loudest or when we make our voices heard. 9 times out of 10, that's through music. 9 times out of 10, that's through singers, rappers, whatnot, raising their voices and sharing that sentiment of what we feel. And then as human beings, we amplify that. We play it in clubs, we play it on radio. And it kind of is, when you break it down, like we're at the mercy of technology. Right?
Yeah.
You know, tech has devalued music in the sense that they went from vinyl to CD. Okay, cool. Then we go to MP3. Okay, cool. From a practical level as a DJ, all right, it's a little bit easier.
Right.
But music's devalued because it can just be copied. We allowed music to be devalued overnight on the rise of the MP3. Now we've got streams. No one really knows how that works. No one, you know, who's to say that a stream is worth this? Who makes that up? Like who? So, and then when you look at everything else that's going on in the world, when you boil it down to the crux of it, the only way we ever make any kind of change or have instigated any kind of, it's through music. It is. The political process isn't for us. The education system, we had to scream and shout about that through music. I was educated about Black history through music,
Right.
thanks to Public Enemy, Ice Cube, Jungle Brothers.
Yeah.
In my era, if we didn't have that, I wouldn't know shit. I wouldn't know about Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, or Martin Luther King. I wouldn't know none of that. Now it's changed. A lot has changed.
You're right.
But the minute that tries to revert back, the voices of the voiceless will bring it back.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like music's all we've got. So going back to what you were saying about, paying attention to, I don't like the term old school music because it's loaded with a negative sentiment, but let's call it classic hip hop.
Yes.
Because we talk about classical music and it's revered. You talk about Beethoven and all of this shit. The media, oh yeah, these were masters. These were masters of music.
Yeah.
And you only really know one or two of their tracks.
Right.
And it's like, all right, you did some performances and shit and whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, no, fuck Vivaldi, fuck all of these guys, because they never created change. They never did anything to move people forward or anything like that. So let's call it classic hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we all have to play a role in preserving that. We all have to play a role in bringing through the new artists. And it's like, even if it's a little bit different from what we're used to, even if it's it might feel a little uncomfortable to some DJs or some tastemakers, it's our duty to bring it through. It's our duty to help it, come through and be great.
Yeah.
Because you can't do it by yourself. So, so that's it.
Okay, you convinced me. Goodbye. No. That was really introspectful, and smart. Like I love that, and as you were talking, I had a couple thoughts like, well, what about food? What about family? What about culture? What about things that also can't be touched? But in a way, music does somewhat transcend that and can be more powerful. And it's a one-of-a-kind thing. You're right.
Because you can say all of them things, but what about the person who hasn't got a family?
Yeah.
What about a person who's lost their family or hasn't got the loved ones around them to bring them
or doesn't even have food?
Yeah, I know.
They can still make music. You know what I mean?
I know so many people raised on hip hop or raised on even in other genres of music. I'm not,
Yeah, of course.
But I'm just saying, as an art form, music is all we've got. And as DJs, listen, we're in a very, very responsible role.
Yeah,
it's our jobs to get it right. And it's some people abuse that position and just in it for the cash and whatever, but and that's great because then people come and go very, very quickly.
Yes.
But it's just the responsibility to get it right. It's on our shoulders.
Right. Yeah, as the rise of the celebrity DJ or just money in the industry, people have wanted just the attention. And that's, I think, what's attracted the celebrities that don't understand the cultural part of it. And even the radio part, like we were talking about radio and your show and like just the amount that you do with your show of sharing and amplifying, and I used to do college radio and it was my dream to do that. It was like my honor to get a new record and play it and share it. Like I was like filled with like energy and joy to be able to go, oh, listen to this new thing or the new East Flatbush project or whatever, like 12-inch I just found, at Fat Beats. And I think that's what it's all about, is sharing the music and amplifying the right people.
We're the ultimate amplifiers.
Yeah.
It's like, that's it. Collectively, what we do across the world. And, the dope thing about being a DJ or being in hip hop, it really is like, I'm going to say the word brotherhood or sisterhood, because you straight away, we all know each other. Our reputations precede us.
Totally.
And that's it. It's like we know what it is,
Yeah, exactly. It's really the thing that brings us together no matter what. And even that, like you were saying, like, we've both been doing this for a long time. And I remember hearing like French hip hop, like back in the day. And I was like, oh, damn, crazy. They're doing that and they're making dope beats. I don't know what they're saying.
And the French have always been ahead of their time.
Yeah,
crazy. They still are. Like, what they're doing, the whole French drill thing and everything else. And there's different subgenres of French hip hop, French rap.
Right.
And over there, it is seen as like an art form in its own right. It is seen with the prestige that it should be.
Yes.
Probably more than it is in the UK.
Yeah.
I think in the UK, we've still got a lot to do. We've still got a lot of doors to kick down, and there's a lot of catching up. But as the generations of younger people come through, these generations of older people that get into different positions, and they understand the importance and the need of it, which is dope. So it's only going to get bigger and better.
Well, which is huge. I think they didn't, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they streamed the De La Soul concert last night on Amazon.
Right.
Which made me think, like you said, somebody who grew up like us is now the head of something at Amazon that decided to put the money in to clear this, stream it, do all that stuff. Have Stretch Armstrong, D Nice, Tony Touch, Clark Kent, the originals, like all go in, Rich Medina, give everyone credit, like come in and do this show and show it to everybody in the whole world and stream it out there. And I think that's the beauty of us growing up in hip hop and evolving and still utilizing, remembering why we love it, and then utilizing our positions of power to keep amplifying it in new ways. And where you used to be like, oh, this is our thing, it's underground. And now we're like, watch this, we're in the position of power. We're going to spread it around.
And I think to add to that, on the flip side of that, is that you've got an event like Rolling Loud, which is why I'm in LA at the moment to witness the greatness of what's happening this weekend. Yeah. But, for a $369 ticket, for 3 days, but for 3 days you can watch, the big hitters like Playboi Carti, Chief Keef, Future, Travis Scott, I should have brought the list along. It's everyone.
It's everyone.
It's basically hip hop in 2023 is on Rolling Loud this weekend.
Yep.
So for $369 for 3 days, and I paid for the tickets, by the way. So but I'm just saying this from the experience of a fan.
Right.
I'm like, so that's like what, $120 a day. Yo, you don't need to go to a show for the rest of the year because you're seeing everybody that like you're seeing all the hot new artists coming through. You're seeing all the great classic artists. Over 3 days in LA, you're seeing everybody.
Everybody.
Like, that is revolutionary. I know you guys have experienced it before and everything else, but for a fan of hip hop right now, you can see hip hop like in its entirety. This is hip hop in 2023. Let's say you called Rolling Loud. This is hip hop. Right. In per year. Yeah. This is hip hop in 2023. For $369 for a ticket, you got served.
It's true. It's very true. You're good at selling things.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
No. You're right though. You're telling the truth.
No, but it's tying into what you're saying about the Amazon thing, and it's tying into what we're talking about. Yeah, we're kind of now talking about the growth of hip hop.
Right.
And it's getting bigger. The fact that you can have Rolling Loud, I mean, I can't keep up. Like, I know there's one in LA, there's been one in New York, there's been one in
Miami.
There's one in Portugal and everything else. And it's like, it's a very, very great thing what's going on. So, and I think anything that helps support the culture of great artistry and everything else, it needs to be appreciated and celebrated.
Yeah. I feel like UK hip hop has a bigger role in, I guess, the USA now and Rolling Loud too. Like it wasn't, you weren't hearing like UK rappers on the radio here before.
Alone this year, so you've got Lancey Foe who's performing, you've got Central C who's performing.
Exactly.
I'm out here DJing. It's like,
come on, you got Semtex.
Like, we're coming.
But Central
through.
C, that's a huge.
And that's not a label buy-on. Like, he's independent. Yeah. That's not some company. Goes back to what we're saying. The theme of this podcast, music's all we've got. It's the power of the music that got him to this position.
It's the power of doing the rawness and just doing what you feel.
And it's the same with Lancey Foe. It's like it's not a major label saying, "Oh, yo, guys, can we get him on the bill and here's some tour support to fund it and everything else." Yeah, he's doing it on his own pocket. So it's a very dope moment. It's a very dope time. We talked about French hip hop with the UK hip hop situation. Well, we call it UK rap.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's what we do. So with UK rap, it's like we're at a point where we found our voice over the last 4 or 5 years.
Right, that's what I sense.
Yeah. So with artists like Dave, Stormzy, and J Hus, 3 very, very different styles, 3 very, very different dope artists who only going from strength to strength. You got the rise of UK drill, where that's brought through a whole different plethora. Let's use the word plethora, right?
You're allowed to use bigger words. You're from England.
Yeah, a whole
plethora, baby.
Plethora of artists that come through that.
Yeah.
There's now 300 UK rappers in cycle at this moment in time.
Wow.
Never been like that before.
Never, right?
Never.
And
I
can play
10,
it. Like even when I'm doing a lounge here, like I do this spot every week, I'll play Dave's songs. I drop in all those songs, even album cuts,
Right.
and people will be like, what is this? And I show them and they go, Shazam, boom, download. So I'm like, okay, like I used to, if like I'm not talking shit, but sometimes I would play it before and they go, what is this? Like, I don't like the accent or something over the rap. Now it's like attractive.
You know, anybody who says I don't like the accent, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you, seriously. Fuck you.
I'm on that page as well. Like I've always loved it.
Come on, man. Like,
and also everyone has an accent from everywhere.
Yeah, and
it brings
funny,
the flavor.
There's rappers over here where it's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Exactly.
It's like it's like let's not get into that. Like, who's
I'm
got a
with
better
you.
accent or not. But which out of interest, like which Dave tracks would you say react the best out here?
You know what? Well, like I said, I do this sort of like lounge-ish spot. It's like people dance, but like I try to like keep it interesting, and so I'll play I play his song with like Burna Boy.
Location.
Yeah, Location.
Yeah, that's a banger.
That one was when almost everyone, at least one person or 2-3 people will come up and go, what is this? And I'll put the mixes out live and I'll get emails like, what is that? What is that? I want that track. There's just something emotional about the piano on that. And like when it breaks down, he's like, send me the location, and like, I don't know. It just like, that one, I can't remember
What was the
names.
biggest UK rap track out here right now, would you say? In your
It has to
opinion?
be Central C.
Which track?
Well, it has to be
Doja.
I mean, plus it has the sample from the Eve song.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could play that song now, like in Vegas, in LA. Yeah.
And it goes up.
Yeah, people know it.
So.
I mean, I'm finishing the night and you hear like the people that work in the club like singing that first line over and over,
Really?
I'm not going to say it. I'll sound stupid, but
we know it is.
But that's crazy to me to hear that. You know what I mean?
Revolutionary.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's huge, and I think
and they like the English accent. They give it a pass.
I think so. I mean, they're saying it with their own accent. But I think he was supposed to do a meetup with another record pool that is a great record pool. I don't know if I should mention it, but he was supposed to do a live meetup with a ton of DJs last night.
Right. Okay.
I was somewhere else. I didn't get to go, but I hopefully he showed up and got to do it because I've gone to a lot of these meetups and it's really good when the artist comes and meets the DJs.
Right.
Because I feel like his record is massive because of DJs.
Right.
It wasn't on the radio. We had to play it. It was a song that we would trade with each other and go, oh, I made a remix. I made a transition. I went from the Eve song. I went from the James Hype House version to the whatever. You know what I mean? Like everyone's done their own way of figuring out how to play it to have people accept it or at least go, what is this? Oh, I think I like it. Like that kind of thing. You got to sometimes trick people into like hearing something as a DJ if they're not ready for it in some of these clubs that aren't if you're not just DJing a hip hop club, or something where it's made for that.
Okay.
And a lot of these open, especially Las Vegas, where it's just a mix of people. You know what I mean? People are like 21 and like 101. You know what I mean? And you're like, I can't believe.
It's tourists as well, right? From all across the world.
I was there 2 weeks ago. I looked down the front. This lady had to be 85 years old in the front row. I'm like, what is going on? But she's like, don't like this. Yeah.
Wow.
Like she's probably just living her dream. I don't know. And so I'm like, here you go, Central C. But I think that I love to see that. I've been a fan of UK rap forever, since the beginning. Like I said, I had a college radio show in the 90s. I literally would fly to London like to buy drum and bass, funk and UK rap, whatever I could find, vinyl and bring it back and play it on my show. Like I've always been a huge fan. And so just to see the growth of it, and to have someone that I like you here that I feel like is just one of the main people advocates of the culture and pushing it forward in the right way, in like a dope way, So so cool, man. And
who else do you think could pop off in America? Like, so you're talking about Dave, we're talking about Central C. Is there anybody else you caught your ear. It's like, you know, if you was a gambling man, you would be like, listen, this person could do it. Like, and
it's like almost like there's so much music out in the world right now that unless I'm looking at my Serato, sometimes I blank out at the names. Like, then I go back through either my Spotify playlist I make or my thing, and I go, oh yeah, that song. I don't know. I can't say off top, but I mean, what about you? Or like, who are some of the up and coming UK rap artists that you love, or the ones that you think would pop off?
Yeah. You're flipping the question back onto me, but touche. You know what?
You got more knowledge than me. I'll be honest. I want to hear your opinion on it.
But this isn't my market. Like America is vast. You know, I'm
everywhere's different. Every city is different. Like, you know, and it's come together more. You know, so I've been touring as a DJ all over America probably since 2006.
Yeah.
When we used to go, let's say 2006 to 2010-ish, you would play Blow the Whistle, like Too Short, right? In Vegas, in San Francisco. Everybody, what's my favorite word? Bitch. Crazy. Go to Chicago, play it. What's my favorite word? Crickets. You know, you go to Houston, you know, like whatever. Nothing, you know. So now it's everywhere with the internet, you know. So it's different. There still is the regional things,
but in LA, all right, we're here in LA right now.
Yeah,
there's so many different demographics, so many different cultures. Crazy. I wouldn't know where to begin. Like, if I was out here for 6 weeks, I'd have it patterned and locked down in a minute. But I'm saying right now, just stepping into this town, like, I used to go to New York and I knew everywhere by the trains. I knew which train to get, whatever. Right. Now, I come to America, just give me the address to Uber it. Like, you don't even need to know where I'm like an Uber driver. Like, what's the address? Let me know. Right? So for here, it's like 1 minute, we were down. 1 minute we were somewhere. Next minute we're in Beverly Hills here. Like, totally. So I don't. You know, I couldn't begin to figure out how it works regionally here. So, is it all online? Is that how it comes together? Is it what? All right. What
in a way, yes. Sorry, TikTok and all that's taking over.
What leads it? TikTok, radio, or the clubs?
To me, I feel like TikTok is a massive driving force at this point. Radio is still a huge driving force, whether people like it or not. Radio is huge. Power 106, all the stations here, the hip-hop stations, all that. They probably were some of the first stations to have real dope DJs, scratch and blend.
I was in the car last night. I heard that 92.3 is the new home of hip-hop.
Of course, it's the new home. And the funny thing is, they've been the new home of hip hop for 25 years. No, it's the same.
No, but you know what I like about that? I like the confidence. Like, I like the, you know, like for someone who just got off a plane, like I just got off a plane. I'm in a taxi driving through LA. Like, I get a kick out of hearing like my favorite West Coast artists, like driving through. Like, the last time I came here, they were playing Tupac. I was like, yeah, man. Yeah. I was like, they're playing Cypress Hill. I was like, yo, like real estate and shit. I was like, this is dope.
Yo, I went to the NASCAR. They had a NASCAR event here, which I've never been to in my life. And someone I know was DJing, which is dope. They have DJs there.
Dope.
Went to the Coliseum.
Right.
They had Cypress Hill perform, Cypress Hill and Wiz Khalifa, which was funny to me that it's NASCAR and they have the most weed people performing, which was not like I'm like, this is very strange. And like people that like, I'm like, are you, because I was talking to DJ Bonix and I'm like, do you need a censor? Everything's like, we got to be so like censored out. But it was so dope to see, like, you know, DJ Lord, shout to DJ Lord.
Crazy.
So incredible. Killing it up there at the Coliseum, you know, and doing, but to see Cypress Hill doing that, doing the real estate, and everybody's going crazy. And I'm like, I love this. You know what I mean? Like, so the West Coast thing is still alive on the West Coast.
But what I'm saying is I come off a plane, put a taxi on, and I get a sense of what's happening. The last time I came out here, there was 3 different stations. We were flipping between each one.
Yeah, 93.5 is... classics, not old school.
See? Sounds better, right?
Way better.
Yeah.
92.3 is obviously the new home of hip hop. No, 92.3, shout to Eamon, everybody on there. We've had a lot of the DJs on this podcast. Super dope. They really are about the culture. They really have put in mad work, and they really do their thing. Power 106 is just legendary. It's like in my blood. Like, been listening to it forever. They gave me one of my biggest opportunities. I got to spin a set on there for like, I think it was an hour set, and like I got so many insane things from that day alone. And you know, these stations do put in the work, but...
So what broke Central C out here? Was it TikTok or radio?
I think it's the DJs just maybe in the clubs and the... I think it gets broken in the DJ world before it hits the radio. You know, but I think the cool thing, at least about LA and probably New York, is that the DJs on the radio are real DJs, you know, and they will play in Vegas. They will play in LA. You know, Sour Milk, Just Incredible. Like, they're touring all over. But, you know, they're real deal DJs that want to break music. You know what I mean? And they'll do podcasts. They'll do all kinds of stuff. So then they'll get it on the radio. So I think it's a mix. But I don't know. I think, like anything else, everything is constantly evolving, and you just have to kind of go with it as it goes, you know. And I think New York has always been my favorite radio place to listen in a way. I mean, actually the UK too. Like that's the most open radio I've heard. But New York with Funkmaster Flex and just all that crazy, you know, just DJing and
crazy talk,
and just rewinding the songs and breaking songs. And here it wasn't as much, and we're more about like perfection, scratching and blends.
I like you know, like I was listening to 92.3 last night. Yeah, and is it DJ Fade?
Is it Phase? There.
It was, but
it might be Phase.
7 o'clock.
Sorry,
Macklemore was on there as well.
Really?
Yeah, as a guest. Yeah.
Oh, dope. Yeah, he's everywhere. He was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon a couple nights ago. FaZe was on this show. He does stuff for DJ City. He's one of the illest, like DJ Quest too. Like so tight.
No, but
so
the
dope.
mixing was tight. Like that's why I was like, it's a very very well produced show. Like as a fan of radio and someone who does radio, I was like, this is dope.
Yeah,
and especially
Fuse maybe. I don't know.
Fuse. It was Fuse.
Yes.
Fuse.
Sorry if I said it wrong earlier.
Yeah, and sorry, like I'm jet lagged. I've just only been here. I hardly slept. But. Yeah. so it was an amazing show, and again, it's like I said, like coming off the plane, driving through LA, listening to dope hip hop radio, it's the greatest, man. It's dope. Like it's inspiring.
Yeah.
It makes. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, it's like. It makes me, when I get back on the plane on Sunday night and go back to the UK, I'm like, okay, we got work to do.
Right.
We need to, you know what I mean?
Right.
These guys are doing that. We need to do this.
That's huge. Yeah. And for them to hear that, I hope they listen to this podcast. I think they do. That is probably going to mean so much to them, you know, coming from you, because I think that's why they do it, you know, and we've talked about that on this show. And I listen to them and I say, I'm so inspired by you guys. You know what I mean? I watch like how much you practice at home and then you bring it to the live thing. Like sometimes I'm intimidated. I'm like, damn, I need to practice more. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so tight and they're blending the classics with the new stuff. You know what I mean? And they'll take a Dr. Dre beat from 20 years ago and put the new stuff over it and blend it and like all that stuff. So
I want to get the name right.
I'm pretty sure you're talking about DJ Fuse or Quest, but
I actually DM'd him last night while he was on a.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. I think he's one of the main DJs of DJ City too. And he does the videos. They're the 10-year connection one. So he'll take a song from 10 years ago and a song from this year and he blends them.
DJ Fuse.
Yeah.
Got it right.
He was on this show.
Salute DJ Fuse.
Yes.
Yo, listen.
Salute.
Your shit was incredible.
Fuse.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You know, he humble, super humble dude and super skilled, you know, and works really hard. And I think it pays off. And for all the people who are like, no one cares about scratching, no one cares about this. Yes, they do. You know?
But the thing, what people don't realize, right, is like when it's done right.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes, when it's done right.
You know what I hate? I don't know if this happens with you, but I can pull up at a club and you know you'd be stood at the back at first just watching.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a bit, you know, and it's your time to go on. So you walk through the crowd.
Yeah.
And then the person on before you sees you, just
Yeah.
Just like the DMC competition, and I'm like, come on, man. It's like you weren't doing that for the last hour. In fact, you probably never do that, and then you're just doing it because someone steps in the club or whatever, and it sounds shit. And that's when I get it, when people are like, yeah, that's not an art form or whatever. But what I heard last night, the way that the mixing was done, it gave the show momentum. It gave the tracks momentum. It made the tracks sound great and even bigger than what they already are, you know. Right. And it goes back down to that thing I was saying about amplification. It goes back down to everything that I'm saying is the music is all we've got. What we do as DJs and what we do in radio and everything else, it's like we take it further. Like we enhance it, we remix it, we take it apart and rebuild it and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. And it's dope. Yeah. Like it's that commitment to excellence which doesn't stop.
Yep. I think that's such a good way to put it, commitment to excellence. And I think that the way that they're able to connect, play a song that's a classic beat with the new vocal. So then a younger person will hear the new vocal and go, what's that beat? I want to find that. Boom, I'm discovering this. The person that loves the older song will hear the new vocal. Oh,
classic rap.
Yeah, the classic the classic song will like be able to connect it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that and again, it all goes back to DJing, you know, and I feel like that's why we do this show, is really to like shine a light on DJing and just how powerful it is and all the different aspects of it. You know what I mean? Like I was telling you earlier, I DJ'd a hockey game last night. I've never been to a hockey game in my life.
What was it like?
Crazy.
Was there any fights?
There was not any fights.
Really?
You know, it was funny. There was almost one fight. Did you see that? Vlats is here with us, and he was with me. And there was almost one. It was funny because I almost felt like people only come to see the fights. And I'm like, why don't you go to a boxing game? You know what I mean? Because they were like, it was one of the more quiet sporting events I've been to.
Really?
Like, yeah, right? We were there, and it was like, and then all of a sudden, a fight almost happens. You see them skating towards each other, and they're like, what up, what up? Yeah. Everyone stands up. Everyone's screaming. And then they don't fight, and everyone's like, oh. And I'm like, why do you want them to fight? I almost didn't want them to fight, but I did, but I don't. I don't even know how I feel.
But you know that you would have gone viral, innit? If you was DJing in a fight, play some dope shit.
Well, I definitely tried to make sure, I played Mama Said Knock You Out. I tried to play some, like, you know, and they have the tracks for it. Like, he told me, he goes, when there's a fight, we play Turn Down for What, Fight for Your Right to Party. They have fight songs.
If I ever got the chance to DJ at one of them hockey, I'd be playing the most flagrant, insightful riot music possible.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're like, you know, what, Ski Master, Slump God?
Yeah, all of that. Like, everything. Put some
Get fucked up.
Yeah, Little John's catalog.
Oh my God. Don't start. No. Oh, that would have been dope. I should have done that. That actually would have been. That's a good idea. I was trying to think of fight type things, you know?
Yeah. No kiffy book.
Because it's like they try to tell you to not start a fight in the club when you're DJing, but this is the time to start the fight.
It's great.
You're right. I guess it was my first time. I'm learning. So hopefully I get booked again.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the whole point of me bringing that up was just how DJing has spread into so many different parts of the world that I never would have thought of, you know, and it was interesting. But yeah, I mean, I played every kind of music, old school hip hop, classic rock, 90s rock, 2000s rock, a lot of like rock stuff and like everything really, EDM, and I don't know what I was doing, really scratching a lot.
How big do you think Afrobeats will get over here?
I think it's growing. You know, it's bigger than it's ever been here. And like I said earlier, we were speaking before we started, like, I think that we get what was big in England a year or two later, you know, and then we sort of take it and turn it into whatever we turn it into. But to see it on such a big stage at the All-Star show was really dope.
Is that, you know, just, I know it's a big look.
Yeah.
But is that a pivotal look, just from your opinion?
In a way, yeah, because it would have been probably a lot of hip hop stuff. So yeah, I think so. And also, some other pivotal things are like when I'm DJing here and I do Afrobeat sets at certain spots, people are absolutely loving it. Like dancing, loving it, like super hot girls like thanking me, you know, like so. If it's getting hot girls to dance, that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Burna Boy, I need more hits. More.
Yo, Burna, help me, man. Come on, please. So, you know, I mean, I think that That's big. I think you had a very hilarious and interesting point earlier that it's too happy and we need some
Afro
mad.
beats. Yeah,
we need some mad Afro beats. Where's the DMX of Afro beats?
Yeah, we need some Afro beats we can play at hockey matches.
Please. We need some hockey Afro beats. We need to punch it in the face. Come on, let's get that kick distorted.
The little John of Afro beats is needed right now.
But you know what's funny is so I got asked to do a mix for Rock the Bells Radio, and it was for Z-Trip asked me to do it, for LL Cool J. And I thought, what am I going to do? What can I do that's different? So I was like, all right, working on stuff. I actually talked to Shecky Green. I don't know if you know him. Source Magazine, legend, one of my good friends. Love him so much. So we were talking, just brainstorming. I was like, yo, I put this hip-hop over these Afro beats. Now that I got Serato stems, shout to Serato. Made an instrumental of Afro beats. Let's talk about that in a minute. Okay. Yeah. I made an instrumental Afro beat song. I put a hip hop song over it. Right. I put Lauryn Hill, Lost Ones.
Oh wow.
Over Wanda.
Can I get a copy of that?
Maybe. No, yeah.
That sounds dope.
So I'll tell you where it's evolved to, and I'll send you a whole folder. And I'd love to hear your opinion and any sort of creative input you got.
Yeah.
So played it for him. Oh my God, he goes, yo, you know what you should do? Do every Rakim song. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of good. And then he goes, you should do a whole section in the Rock the Bells of old school hip hop, classic hip hop. Let me correct myself. Excuse me. Classic hip hop over Afro beats. Right. And I'm like, ding, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I go in my room, start messing around. Took Don't Sweat the Technique. Took like all the Rakim songs I could. Mashed them up with Afrobeat songs. Then I started finding other ones. And because actually it started, going back one step, was I was taking the new Beyonce and I was making it over all this piano stuff. And I was playing it in the clubs here just to kind of like make it different.
Does piano work out?
Yeah, it was like working. That's what was getting the girls dancing. Hot girls going. I'm playing Cuff It. I'm a piano. Let's go. So that's what got me started. Then I put the Lauryn Hill. I go, oh, it sounds so good. Because I used to do this mix where I would take Lost Ones. I'd drop it. I'd drop to the acapella. I put like dance hall, and I do a dance hall medley under the Lauryn Hill, and then I would scratch her, and everybody loved it. And it would get people, and it would help me transition to dance hall, and we'd go crazy. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna move it to Afro beats. So yeah, I mean, I think that I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but basically that was the I'm trying to combine them, know, and I was having some of the old school hip hop kind of vibe over the Afro beats, thing to like bring to the table and sort of try to bring it together. And I don't know where I started talking about this, but yeah, that's
No, I'm saying about how big can it go out here?
Oh yeah, so I feel like, in a way, if we can do what we're doing with hip hop music, combining it together in a way with that, I feel like it can get bigger and bigger. I feel like in a way, the bigger things get, sometimes they get ruined, know? I'm already hearing so many whack remixes and fake and, and just not inspired songs of it, and it's becoming boring.
From over here or from Africa?
From here.
Right.
Well, the Africa stuff is hard to judge because I don't know what's as genuine or as... It's hard for me to filter through it as much.
And anything by Burna, Wiz, David, Rema.
Yeah.
The key artists like Black Sharif, Kwesi Arthur, etc. Whatever they put out, take that as gospel.
Yes, and I will say, shout to D. James from the UK. He's the curator of our African section on Beatsource and DJ City. He is in the scene. He was in Nigeria for the past 2 months, working on an album. He's with all the people. Asake, I don't know how you say his name. Asake, I'm sorry.
Okay. Has Asake not hit here yet?
I think I actually saw him at the front row at the Laker game. And with Fireboy.
Right. Okay.
So he's here physically.
Right.
And I play his music. I play it every week.
Asake's that guy, man.
I play it every week.
Yeah, Asake.
And I made instrumental Serato stems and put Beyonce over it. So that's my way to I play the Beyonce.
Right.
Girls are feeling it.
Yeah.
Boom, I go into the original.
Yeah.
Then they don't know what it is, but he has such a anthemic voice and the singing and the choruses that people like it no matter what, you know, and then I can continue on from there. And his music's kind of upbeat and good feeling, you know. But we are looking for the mad Afrobeat still, so I don't know.
The angry Afrobeats.
Yeah, the angry Afrobeats.
Yeah. I think, I mean, it's not Afrobeats, but I like what Black Sharif did with Quaker the Traveler, where
I don't know that.
Quaker the Traveler.
Now
oh my God, man. That's
put me on.
Yo. So Black Sharif is a very, very dope rapper / singer from Ghana.
Okay.
Incredible, right?
Okay.
His voice is like, it's like fire and brimstone.
Wow.
Like when he gets in his bag, it's like he raps like Sizzler. Like in my opinion,
yeah.
Like Sizzler's got that biblical flow,
yes.
like fire and brimstone,
right.
the veracity. It's like that, the rage and everything else.
Yeah.
So, like Black Sharif, he's got that. Like
wow.
he just opens his mouth and it just comes out. He's a God-given talent. He's incredible. So,
amazing.
Quaker the Traveler is here's the flip. So you got a Ghanaian artist who's done a UK drill track, like
crazy,
and it works. It just works. It's a classic track already. It's a notable, like if you come to the UK, play that. Like it's one of them joints. Any festival who shut it down with that and so forth. And I DJ'd for his show when he did his first London show at Coco, and it was dope. It was a really, really dope night. But what really did it for me was seeing the expressions on the crowd. There's people's faces, right? When they seen him enter the stage and the way that he was singing, the way that he was rapping, it was like, I've never seen anything like it. It was like, it was like, I can't describe it. Like the expressions on their faces, it was bigger than joy. It wasn't, you know, like in Gas when people see their favorite rapper, it's bigger than that. It was almost like, and I don't want to make the comparison to religion. I'm not religious like that or whatever. But it was like someone had met their Messiah. Like the way that they were looking at him, what he meant to them.
Yeah.
Like what he meant to his audience, his core audience, which was mostly Ghanaians, right? It's fascinating to see. And these are UK people. These are like, it's not like I'm watching him in Ghana, in his home country, in his homeland. This is like second, third, fourth generation Ghanaians. This is like like kids who are just like in awe of who he is and what he did. It's really, really fascinating to see. His debut album, The Villain I Never Was, just take it in, right? That's what I'm saying, is take it in. Take it in, run with it. Like, it's amazing. He's that guy. He's that guy that, moving forward, I feel like we talk about great ones in rap, and every year we have a different set of great ones or whatever. You could argue at this moment in time, people would say the great ones are maybe Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. Someone else would say Young Boy Never Broke Again. someone else would say Playboy Carti and that or whatever. Like everyone's
quote Young Boy line.
Yeah. Everyone's got that what they see as being great ones. He's gonna be one of the great ones worldwide.
Wow.
Like worldwide. Like,
can't wait to listen.
For what he stands for what he does, and his lyrical ability, his rapping bag is in the bag, like in the pocket. Yeah. Like, it's incredible to see. So it's kind of like, it's real inspiring to see something like that and to see someone like that. There's not many artists I can tell you about right now where I'd be like, you know, like, watch out for this guy and da. But Black Sharif, he's that guy. He's the one.
That's amazing. That's what I love about the UK. I feel like you guys have always been champions of even the dance hall culture. You know, like I remember a lot of, you know, going to New York and trying to find those records where they would take dance hall and put it over hip hop, you know, and I feel like a lot of that was also coming from the UK, you know, and was influenced by that, and then moved over to New York, and then slowly would, you know, come to the West Coast. So, you know, I think with Afro beats, in a way, that's some positive thing that's happening with it. But with the internet now, everything can just be so oversaturated, and but also can connect things and move things sort of exponentially faster, right? Like where you're saying he's doing a UK drill track that may have taken longer to happen than if without the, you know, connection of all the technology.
Yeah, no. I think there's the African diaspora is huge, right? In every country, there's Ghanaian diaspora.
Yeah.
Definitely Nigerian diaspora. No matter where
Yeah.
you go, Tokyo, Nigerians there. That like it's only getting bigger.
Yeah.
And with that comes the music, because it's carried through families, tradition, and everything else.
Right.
I'm the first to say technology has abused music. We started off the podcast doing that. It's not my agenda. I'm not technophobic or AI phobic or anything like that.
Right.
But it has fucked with what we do.
Yeah.
But I feel like the power of the diasporas in terms of transporting the music worldwide, it's unbeatable, man.
Yeah.
It's unmatchable. There's nothing that beats it. You know?
I agree.
And I think that's what's going to take it further than ever, you know.
No, that's huge. And I mean, you know, we should talk about is the music that you're putting out and like the single that you have out right now.
Yeah.
That people can listen to. I was bumping it last night on the way back from the hockey game in my car. You know, I was like, I should have played this. Might have started a fight. I don't know.
I think it could have.
Has a heartbeat.
Yeah. It could have.
What's the deal with that? You want to describe the process, the story behind it?
So basically, with Floor Shake, it features two artists, Backrow G and Kwesi Arthur.
Okay.
Originally, I made a beat. Let's call it boom trap, the original style of beat, right?
All right.
And then shout out to my incredible manager, Nikita.
Yeah,
she got
she's
the beat.
Great.
Yeah, she got folded to Kwesi Arthur, and Kwesi rapped on it.
Right.
And he did a couple of verses and he did a hook. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, had I DM'd him to do it, he'd be like, yo, Sam, what's up? Yeah, let me see. Like, you know what it's like. Like, it's timing. There's something that's different about the right connector in the right place at the right time with the right energy.
Of course.
That's Nikita, right? So
she's amazing.
So I got the track back and I was like, yo, this is cold. But I was like, yo, this is cold. And then shout out to Metronica. He played me Ron Suno, the banger that he had at that time. And I was watching the video and the energy, and it's like the whole New York drill thing. I was like, I like this. This is hard. I like this. It's hard. Then I went back to my track with Kwesi, and I was like, nah, I can flip this into that. Because he had the chorus about floor shake. That's what I do. It's what I do in clubs. It's what I do at festivals, wherever, any show, I'm shaking the floor. Like,
yeah.
So I flipped it. So now you got a track which is a sturdy drill influenced banger, right? It's just brutal. It's gonna shut down festivals. It's gonna be my walk-on music. It's gonna be the first track I play, and it's just gonna go off. When I made the instrumental, I was playing it on a little Tekka tour. I was DJing every night on a little Tekka tour.
Right.
The instrumental would just go off without any artist on it. So I was like,
I think I saw a video.
Yeah.
It's just the hi-hats came in the crowd. Hey.
Yeah.
And so you incorporated that, right?
Yeah. So they helped me.
That's genius.
Yeah. So basically, they helped me A&R the record. The crowd. Shout out to every crowd. They helped me A&R, right? Just
right.
For the reaction.
And that's the beauty of DJing. It all comes full circle, you know?
Yeah. So I had Kwesi, and then I was like, I need a real Aggie. I need an artist. I was like, I need an artist that is good for the festivals, that's from the scene, that's Backrow G. Backrow G is incredible. He's got an amazing project on the way where it's UK rap, but it's we could be lazy and call it Afro rap, because he's Congolese, so he's got all of them influences in his music and everything. Right. But what he's about to do something totally different as well. Like, watch out for him, because it's gonna come through. Like, it'll land in your inbox somehow, right?
Right.
I don't even need to gas it up or talk it up. You're gonna end up, right? It's gonna make its way there, and that's what I want to do. Like, I don't want to put out music where I'm chasing the hit. Like, look, money's nice, but I can make money, and I don't need to do something that I'm gonna regret. Yeah. Not even 2 years later, 2 months later, or people are gonna look at you as being like a cheese ball, like down the line. So I'm like, UK artist, African artist, or whether it's a US artist or whatever, I just want to make events. Like, for me personally, you know, I did it with Scary, where I had Twitch on with Cos, you know, who's signed to Dreamville and everything else. And it's just like, I'm just making dope moments. One of them's going to connect, like whatever. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep putting out bangers and keep putting out joints. But for right now, it's like, it's just dope to be able to make something. I'm not answering to anybody.
Right.
I'm not under pressure. You know, I've got an instrumental that I made that is going to be in a phone network advert this weekend. So I'm going to drop the instrumental next week and just throw it. You know what I mean? It's just like you control your destiny and you make it up as you go along, basically. And that's the dope thing about making music, you know. And I think in terms of what I do as a DJ, yeah, it's great, but in order to excel, in order to move with the times, you have to grow. Yeah. And I think this is what I've been doing in music. I've been challenged, I've been pushing myself. It's my own mountain that I'm climbing. And it's the best feeling ever. It's dope. Really, really is dope, you know. Even that clip that you saw, like, can you imagine how that felt to stand on stage with an instrumental that you've made? And then you're seeing the crowd react, and you've not even finished it. Like,
I mean, goosebumps type feeling.
Yeah. It's a different type of like inspiration. It's and you know the feeling yourself, like what it's like when you DJ and shut down the show and the crowd's going crazy, and you're like Danielson and Karate Kid. You can do no wrong, and you're just in the flow. It's like that. So. And I think that's the one thing that we all strive for as DJs, because that's when you know you're hitting it. You know when you get it right. You move crowds. It's our duty to move crowds.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do with the music.
Oh, man. And that comes back to music is all we got. Right there, because it's bringing it all together. Sorry, I had to do it. But it's the truth, though. It's the truth.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why it was such, and the reason why I brought that up again today was because I was reminded of it recently, that's all we got. Like, that's to make it work.
Yeah. And that's why you're here. That's why you're in Los Angeles and we're sitting across from each other. You're going to Rolling Loud. Are you going tonight? Are you going to go?
Yeah. I'm going to go.
Who plays tonight, I wonder? It's going to be crazy.
Everyone. But shout out to Billy Rax, because he had the audacity to invite me to come over and DJ for him.
That's huge.
And I was like, yeah. You know, like, that was it. There was no management calls. There was no booking agents. There was no, like, I'm not out here working. I'm just going to come on stage with him and drop some tunes. Right. And that's it. Like, I'm supporting my guy, Billy Rax. Right. I want to see him win. And it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be dope. So fun. But it's and again, it's like through the power of music. That's how we connected. And he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, and everything else. And that's how it should be, man. Yeah. Just, you know.
I agree. I wonder, are you going to go to, there's probably so many after parties, like, at every
You know
club.
what? I just want to go to the cinema.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to see Creed 3.
Oh, yeah. Is that come out this weekend?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I'm in the studio tonight, and then Creed 3 probably tomorrow. Then I'm on a flight back on Sunday night.
Damn, all right. But you're gonna DJ Rolling Loud also, right?
Yeah, but it's It's,
you're like, whatever.
No. I'm not saying it like, I'm not being flippant like that. But
I know.
But it's like, and that's the mission. My mission out here is to help Billy Rax. Like, he's given me an incredible opportunity. Yeah. Like, come on, man. Have you ever heard of an English DJ at any of these events? Like, in hip hop,
right?
Like, it's an incredible look for myself, you know.
Where are you gonna see Creed 3? There's some good theaters out here.
What's the name of the theater?
Chinese theater, maybe. The Grove. Oh, it's good. Grove. Real good. They got the comfy seats. You put your feet up.
See, that's I get a kick out of that.
Yeah,
that's
the Grove is dope. Have you been there? It's just a crazy,
you know, like,
touristy kind of thing, but it's fun.
It's for me.
It's like, great. I love it.
Exactly where I should be tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. But you know, look, we're very, very blessed as DJs. We've moved crowds of different sizes, different places, and different stages. So for me, like, the real thrill outside of that, cinemas. I love going to the cinema.
Really?
Yeah, man. The bigger the screen, the better. I want it loud, bass, everything.
So what's your? I mean, Star Wars. Obviously, you're a fan. I'm feeling. Is that like your top movie franchise?
Star Wars. You know, the first 6 episodes. You know, the reboots of the first 3 are debatable. But 4, 5, and 6, Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, flawless films. Scarface, incredible. But there's also, like, you know, every now and then there's new films that come out which are just like 10 out of 10 movies.
Right.
So I
did a little Mandalorian remix. I'll give you.
Oh, for real? Yeah,
Mandalorian. My boy Urban Medium out in Atlanta and New York. He does really dope art. You'd actually love it. It's like hip hop with Star Wars, and he did this Mandalorian thing, and I did the beat for it. So
yeah, Mandalorian's incredible. Do you watch the series?
No.
Oh wow.
So I need to. I've been meaning
that's
to.
That's blasphemy, bro. Like, you're making music out one of the dopest series.
I know. I actually was kind of waiting. My son wasn't old enough to watch it, and I wanted to watch it with him, and now he kind of is. So I was gonna watch it for the first time, my first time, and him together.
Season
that was my
1,
goal.
Episode 1.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, it's a dope.
So now he's like 10. I feel like we're in there.
Okay.
Before it was a bit like he was too young, when it came out.
Okay.
But I definitely want to see it. Any other movies you're looking forward to? Creed 3. What else?
This year, I'm not sure. Like, I just appreciate good films.
Yeah.
Like, just great films. You know? So.
I mean, I hear you. You're in the place where it gets made. That's the one. Actually not one, but that's a dope thing about living here as a DJ is like I get to DJ kind of most of my gigs now in LA are movie premieres, TV show premieres, award show, more than clubs. Yeah, like that's like what I do. Me and a couple of my friends, like we're kind of in that circuit. So, Netflix, Amazon, like any of the things, and we get to do crazy, like they'll close down Hollywood Boulevard, and we have to make the soundtrack. And in a way, you feel like you're in the movie. You know what I mean? Because you're creating the feeling of everybody there. You're seeing all the stars of the movie come by. Yeah. You're trying to get them to like bob their head, to like notice the music or play the right thing. And you're the music supervisor of the live moment. You're the soundtrack producer of that moment. And you're trying to, as a DJ, do little wordplay things, look up what maybe the actor might like. Oh, they love classic hip hop. I'm gonna play that song, or whatever it is. So it's kind of like I love that. Like that's what I do. I did a movie premiere last week, and for I don't know, some Netflix movie called like We Have a Ghost or something. But it's fun. Like I get to look up the cast. I get to look up what they like, play songs about ghosts. Try to do wordplay. And
wow, yeah, I DJ'd at the Black Panther European premiere.
Oh, that's
the first one. That was crazy. It's an amazing experience.
I'm sure.
And, the cast. So it was they built a dope DJ booth. Apparently, it was supposed to be Kendrick, then me. I know.
What?
But amazing. But it ended up just being me.
Right.
Even better.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So big up Kendrick, obviously. But it was like, and so I'm like, how do you do this? How do you're at a premiere? How do you rock the crowd? How do you move the crowd? And they were like, you have 7 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, cool. So I planned it like these 5 tracks, like, and I knew what would get people wearing dicky bows and smart dress, making noise. I knew what would get a response. I know if I play this track, you can't contain yourself. You're gonna get up and
right. Like what? What was it? What was it?
At the time, it was Man's Not Hot.
Oh,
yeah, word for word, they were at it. It was exactly.
Wow.
And the mad thing is, I look to my left, and all the cast is there ready to come on stage and talk about the film. I see Michael B. Jordan, he salutes me. I'm like, oh shit. Like, see that?
That's what I'm saying. That's what you go for.
But that's what you're like, stay on target.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's very easy to get gassed at that point. It's because you're on target, you're doing it, you got 7 minutes to kill it and everything, and you know what you're going to do, right?
Yeah.
But then you see Michael Jordan salute you, you're like, yeah, man. Like, it's like, stay focused, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's dope. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Really great night.
I mean, that's the thing about here. Like you said, we're here with kind of the epicenter of like these celebrities and all these things. I never know what I'm getting into, like Grammy weekend was crazy. Like they go, you're going to do a private event, get there at 7 p.m. And I'm like, all right, is there any information like at all? So I can prepare, walk in, start DJing, probably playing an Afrobeat song or something. And they go, all right, Swizz Beatz, DJ Khaled, Russell Simmons, Kevin Lyles, Valisha, the head of the Recording Academy, all these people, they're coming in right now. You got to turn up, go hip hop. I'm like, oh, okay, boom. So I'm like, okay. You know, I'm trying to make Khaled feel like he's in a movie walking in, you know, and he's in the corner smoking a spliff. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should play the reggae song, you know. So it's like, but then Russell Simmons there, but then Ken Plus, you know. So it was, and then she's like asking me for Nardo Wick and like all this stuff that I don't even have, and I'm like, okay, I'm downloading it, you know, and Stiletto Girls, and like I'm like, holy shit. So
and the hot girls.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I'm like, hot girls, you got to dance to whatever you dance to at this point. You know, and then we had that. Then it turned into a normal night. Then 2 days later, they had Trevor Noah had his after party there after he hosted the Grammys.
Right.
And they had me come in, DJ, and then Anderson .Paak come in and do an all vinyl set.
Wow.
And that was pretty dope. And then he usually plays like old school and like disco. And he goes, I'm going to do a hip hop set. And so but it was like, he does some dope shit. Like he'll play like Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See, but like he'll rap, like come down over it and like cut it in and out, and like he has his shit
Anderson
down.
.Paak's an incredible artist. Like,
so dope.
Yeah, the way he plays the drums.
Oh
like,
my God. He just has music running through his entire being. You know what I mean? Like he is music. He is like the epitome of how music makes you happy and like feel good.
I think the last time I came out here, same thing. I was on a mission. I was trying to do this, that. And I blacked my way into a BET party. Like it's really easy to black your way into events out here.
Oh yeah.
Like Nikita.
Hold a backpack.
Not even that. Nikita, like, this is DJ Semtex from London. You know, like English accent. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh.
And then looking for the guest. Of course, like it's great.
I was trying to think how to sneak into Rolling Loud. I saw a video of these dudes just holding a box of lettuce, and they told the guy, yeah, we got to refill the lettuce at the taco. And the guy just lets him in. I'm like, I'm about to buy some lettuce. That's way cheaper than $369. You're going to just, you know, maybe like $8 of lettuce. Let's go. Some, so there's different ways.
So I blacked my way into this BET party. I got drunk.
Okay, good.
And I was like, oh shit, I've got to go meet Just Incredible for an interview. Right? Okay. So I turn up at the station, right? I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, I don't know. I was trying to like make out like I wasn't drunk, but I was just like, yo, what's going on? And then we were doing the interview and everything. And it's really cool. And then we were talking about...
and isn't Justin like sober, like always?
Yeah.
And sour milk too.
But we was talking about Jay-Z and Jay-Z versus someone else. I was like, no. It was really,
it got heated.
Yeah. It was cool in a good way, in a great way.
So, yeah, in a good way.
But what I did say to him though was like, yo, you don't realize how lucky you are. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, you influenced the entire music industry. He's like, why? I said, because when you do your thing on radio, all the artists are locked in. So when you're playing new stuff, it's making them think about what they need to do next.
Right.
And where they need to go next. And they all want you to play their music, right? Because you got one of the main shows out here and you're tapped in. And then he was like, I don't think he got what I was getting at. But really and truly, like, if you're an artist out here, it's very this is like one big amusement park in a sense. It is. It's like I said, it's like a film lot. It's
totally.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
You influence the world, like in terms of the music that's coming out.
Right.
Because what you play, and it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because the music industry is locked into you. Labels are locked in. A&Rs are locked in. Producers are locked in. Artists are locked in. It's kind of like a weird... It's like a weird cycle.
Yeah.
It's like, we hear them play that, we're going to make that, he plays it,
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
it is.
So it's dope.
And I try to remember that all the time, is to not take it for granted that we are here. You know what I mean? And traveling helps you do that too. But just being lucky enough to just be in the epicenter of something, you know what I mean? And in a place where so much stuff is happening artistically on all levels, you know, and every type of music thrives in Los Angeles. I feel like it's such a spread out city. Like you said, like Calabasas is going to take you a couple hours to get there, even though we're in LA. Down here, down there, downtown, where's, you know, Inglewood.
Yeah.
And everywhere is different, you know, and even in downtown LA in one night, there'll be every type of music party with people going crazy, I feel like, at every single place. So it is we're lucky to be here, you know, and I feel grateful. I'm always trying to just take it in, and at the end of the night, just kind of be quiet in my car, like just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, you know, that I just did that, or we're here, or, you know, anything like that.
It's dope, man. You're in the heart of it all.
Yeah.
It's dope.
It's amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, man, before we get out of here, is there anything else you want to, you know, promote or talk about or even discuss?
World peace.
I love that.
We need it.
We do, for real. I mean, Jesus, please.
That's it. No, but that's it. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It'd be nice to not have an apocalypse anytime soon. Like,
Right.
that's the most important thing, man.
I hope, honestly, Rolling Loud is peaceful. You know what I mean? It's like, because we've had problems here with not hip-hop, rave things. You know what I mean? Raves got kicked out of L.A., you know?
Really?
Like, yeah, I mean, we used to have EDC, all the biggest things here at Coliseum, but, you know, problems happen and all moved to Vegas.
Right.
And it's slowly just starting to come back here. You know, like the biggest EDM kind of show just happened at the Coliseum, and they're slowly just starting to come back. And I just hope hip hop can thrive as well with these huge festivals, and everything's peaceful and fun, you know, in the right way. And yeah, just world peace. Everybody can get along. We can all have our differences and have our opinions, but speak to each other, you know.
Yeah.
And
help each other.
And help each other. Yeah. I think that's the thing. And people get so caught up in their own thing or their own selfie that they're not seeing the lens of who's on the other side, you know.
Yo, that's a good line, man. That's a good tweet. I'll make a great tweet.
Well, you made me think of it. So I'll give you half the credit.
Yeah. But listen, thank you for taking the time out to do this as well.
Yo,
We
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
This was great, man. Honestly, you inspire me. Your words inspire me. Your actions inspire me. And like sitting with you right now, like the way how you're so articulate about everything and you're so thoughtful. And I feel like the energy that you bring to it is just like infectious and like, you know, like I just really appreciate you being here and speaking to everybody and taking the time. And I'm glad we got to know each other and chill, man. This is great. Yeah. Thank
cool,
you.
Man. All right.
All right, DJ Semtex. Everybody go peep him. I'm sure you already know who he is.
At
But come
DJ
on.
Semtex on everything.
That's it, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Peace. Yo, that was an incredible conversation. I feel like we could have gone on pretty much forever. He knows how to really articulate ideas and thoughts so well. And I feel like he brought that out of me too. I even got to have some cool lines in there, you know, and he just makes you think, man. DJ Semtex. I mean, a man of the people, a man of the culture. And it was an honor having him on the podcast and getting to sit down with him. Thank you guys, the Beatsourcers, for tuning in week after week. I have so much love for you guys, and you guys show so much love to the podcast, and I really appreciate it. The 20 podcast is produced by Beatsource. Join us next week for more interviews as we discuss music that matters to DJs. I'm DJ Spider signing off. Peace.